everyone. Welcome, my dear friends, my dear listeners and watchers. Welcome back on Rok On 2.0, maybe. Visual Rok On, anyway. So, it's the one and only podcast where we explore growth, where we explore reinvention, and also the deep truth that shape the way we work and live. Today, I would like to explore a part of the employee experience. Is actually the employee value proposition that I wanted to talk about today. It's pretty much people and culture HR conversation today. So the EVP, employee value proposition, it's that promise that a company makes to its people in return for their contribution, who we are, how we work, what you can expect, right? So it's how an organization distinguishes itself among a sea of alternatives. But the EVP, employee value proposition, it's often only treated like a holistic slogan, bold, inspiring, but often generic. Because in reality, when it's medium to big organization, people work in departments within a team under a specific manager and in a particular environment. They live their day-to-day inside an organ that is inside the whole body, right? So today, talents, they join people, not only the brand. Engagement happens at the team level. And attrition often happens with a bad local experience, not a bad brand. Corporate EVP, mission, values, benefits, culture as a whole. Departmental level, it's a specific experience offered by a team or function. You have the leadership style, projects exposure, ways of working, upskilling opportunities, and the team level is basically the micro layer where you have the interpersonal dynamics, psychological safety, collaboration, team rituals, you name it. And people leave managers, not companies. And they also stay because of great managers or teams. So today I would like to zoom into that. Let's talk about the departmental EVP, for which, I gave a quick hint on episode 1 here. So now a quick note. This whole discussion about departmental EVP really applies to medium and large organizations. Because in small businesses or startups, the EVP is often lived directly through the founder and the company brand. But once you grow and scale, each department starts to develop its own microculture. That's when it becomes essential to intentionally define departmental EVP. Otherwise, the organization risks fragmentation and silos or even contradictions between what the company says and what people actually live day to day. So in the company, each department has a specific function, right? A unique rhythm and a particular energy and purpose. You have finance team, for example, right? It's the pumping side of the organization, pumping the resources. HR, thinking ahead, coordinating movement and growth. Marketing and communication, sensing, seeing, feeling, speaking and representing. Sales, they push, they move, they energize. And IT, holding the structure together, quietly connecting everything. It's the backbone. So each team has its own culture, its own ways of working, its own lived experience. And that's what candidates and employees feel. Not the glossy branding of the company, but the culture of the team that they join. Now, let me give you a comparison. Let's say you are a finance professional, right? You're working either at company A, right? The team is okay, you get your tasks going, you close your month, but it's rigid. It's no exposure, no recognition. You feel like a machine, a necessarily part, but not a meaningful one. Now imagine company B's finance team. Here, finance is seen as a business partner. You sit in cross-functional meetings, you are consulted, not just informed, and the team encourages learning and continuous improvement. You're not just closing numbers, you are opening possibilities. You see, same role, different company, different experience. And I think you would rather work in the finance team of company B. And that is why checking departmental employee value proposition is so essential. Because it grounds company values in daily behaviors. It's good for team empowerment. Because the same job in a different team can feel like a completely different career. But don't get me wrong, truly, because the holistic EVP matters. Because it's the foundation, it's the shared DNA of the organization. It's what unites us as one organization. It's our shared culture, our goal, our values, and the benefits we promise. The departmental EVP does not replace it, it underpins it. It makes those big promises real in the everyday. So if the company doesn't live up to its big promises, no department can compensate for that. And if departments don't bring those promises to life, the corporate EVP remains just words. So when the departmental EVP is intentionally defined and aligned with the holistic EVP of the organization, then of course employees don't have to rely on guesswork or unhealthy conformism, right? It reduces the risk of employee conforming only for survival and increasing the chance of authentic alignment. But of course, I'm not here to sell you dreams or an utopia because there can be problems if departmental EVP is not managed well or pushed too far, because it could create imbalance between departments, fuel internal competition instead of alignment, encourage some teams to market themselves while others stay invisible, or even mask dysfunction behind polished words. There are practical solutions to each of these possible challenges. Departmental EVP should be a mirror. It's not a comparison to the other departments within the same organization. No, it's not saying that we're the best team. Not at all. It's about saying this is who we are, this is how we work. This is what we offer and what we expect, all based on our whole organizational culture. And maybe the best way to picture it is through culture, right? Think of a country. Each country has one national identity, one flag, one anthem, one constitution. That's the equivalent of the holistic EVP. But within that same country, you will find many local cultures, many ethnicities, each with its own traditions, with its accents and rhythms of life. None of them cancel out the national identity. On the contrary, they bring it to life, right? They make it tangible and richer. That's exactly what departmental EVP does for the corporate EVP. Unity and diversity can coexist, and as often do, I want to weave in a thought inspired by biology, because yes, in biology we know each organ matters, but no organ can function alone by itself. The lungs may breathe, but the heart does not pump. Oxygen goes nowhere. The brain may think, but without blood, even for just 1 second, it begins to fail. So why do we build organizations where departments behave like silos? Why do we act as if our impact ends at our team's edge, our team's door? We are interconnected, just like a body. Each department has its own sub-EVP, its own strengths, but real value comes when those organs collaborate. So even as we define what makes each team unique, let's never forget the circulation between them. Because that's where the real health and the real growth of an organization lives. Invisible EVP exists anyhow. What emerges when departmental EVP is left unchecked? People conform to hidden norms. The bottom line here today is that departmental EVP is like a local accent, right? It tells you a story and an identity. Without it, you're only hearing the company anthem and brand, not the music people actually dance to. So yes, for me it's relevant and it's also powerful. And when it's handled with integrity, with alignment, and also purpose, it's not just worth it. It's a game changer. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining me on this episode of Rok On today. So whether you are building a team, changing jobs, or leading transformation, always remember, not all hearts beat the same. So choose the right one to work with and help it beat stronger. Until next time, take care and rock on as always. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, comment. I'll be here to discuss with you. Thank you very much.